Did you know that debt isn't just about the numbers on a bank statement? It's something that can creep into every corner of your life, affecting how you sleep, how you think, and how you feel every single day. If you've ever felt a knot in your stomach when a bill arrives, or laid awake at night worrying about money, you're not alone. Millions of people are silently struggling with the heavy weight of debt-related stress, and today, we're going to talk about it openly. Let's start with the emotional weight of debt. It's this constant, low-level hum of worry in the back of your mind. You're thinking about upcoming bills, the interest piling up, and the payments you need to make. This creates a powerful fear of the future. You start to question if you'll ever be financially secure, if you'll ever be able to afford the things you want or need. It's a feeling of being trapped, like you're running on a hamster wheel and not getting anywhere. This sense of being overwhelmed is one of the first and most powerful ways debt begins to impact your mental well-being. This constant worry naturally leads to stress and anxiety. We're not talking about the kind of stress that motivates you. We're talking about chronic stress. It's the kind that keeps your body in a constant state of high alert. Every time you see your credit card balance grow or get a reminder about a payment, your anxiety can spike. This financial uncertainty creates a deep sense of mental fatigue. Your brain is working overtime, trying to solve a problem that feels unsolvable, and it's absolutely exhausting. It's like trying to navigate through a thick fog with no clear path forward. When that stress and anxiety persist for a long time, it can spiral into something even more serious: depression. Debt can create profound feelings of hopelessness. You start to believe that your situation will never get better, that you're stuck in this hole forever. This can lead to a loss of motivation and energy. Things you used to enjoy might feel pointless now. Simple tasks, like getting out of bed or making a meal, can feel monumental. You might start telling yourself a story that you've failed and that there's no way out. This is a dangerous mental space to be in, and it's a direct consequence of the pressure that debt puts on us. Then there's the shame and social pressure. Money is still a taboo topic for so many of us. We feel embarrassed to talk about our financial struggles, even with the people closest to us. We look at social media and see friends and family going on vacations, buying new things, and seemingly living a perfect life. This comparison game is brutal. It makes you feel isolated and ashamed, like you're the only one who can't get their finances in order. So you hide it. You pretend everything is fine, but that secrecy just adds another layer of stress and deepens the feeling of being alone in your struggle. And that secrecy can severely affect our relationships. When you're stressed about money, it's hard to be present with your loved ones. Debt often leads to arguments and tension with partners. One person might be a spender, the other a saver, and the financial pressure just amplifies those differences. You might start avoiding social activities because they cost money, which can make you feel even more isolated from your friends. Over time, the strain of financial secrets and constant arguments can erode trust and destroy the emotional connection you have with the people who matter most. The impact isn't just emotional and social, it's physical too. Have you ever noticed that when you're stressed about money, you can't sleep? That's incredibly common. Insomnia and poor sleep quality are classic signs of debt-related stress. You might also experience physical symptoms like tension headaches, stomach issues, or a clenched jaw. Your body is holding on to all that tension. Over a long period, this constant state of stress can lead to complete and total burnout, where you feel physically, mentally, and emotionally drained. Your body is essentially telling you it can't handle the pressure anymore. All of this creates a vicious cycle that's incredibly hard to break. The stress from debt clouds your judgment. When you're anxious and not thinking clearly, you're more likely to make poor financial decisions. Maybe you use a credit card for some retail therapy to feel better for a moment, or you avoid opening your bills altogether, leading to late fees. These actions, driven by stress, only increase your debt. And as the debt grows, so does your stress and anxiety. The cycle then repeats, with each turn making you feel more hopeless and trapped than before. It's a downward spiral that feeds on itself. So, how can you tell if debt is negatively affecting your mental health? There are some clear signs to watch for. The most obvious is constant, overwhelming anxiety about money. It's on your mind when you wake up and when you go to sleep. Another sign is avoidance. Are you ignoring calls from unknown numbers? Are you letting mail pile up because you're afraid to see another bill? This avoidance is a coping mechanism, but it only makes the problem worse. Finally, pay attention to your emotional state. If you feel persistently hopeless, irritable, or emotionally drained, it's a strong indicator that your financial situation is taking a serious toll on your mental well-being. If you recognize these signs in yourself, please know there are healthy ways to cope. The first and most important step is to acknowledge the problem without blaming yourself. Shame will only keep you stuck. You made some financial decisions, and now you have a challenge to solve. That's it. The next step is to create a clear, realistic plan. This isn't about solving everything overnight. It's about figuring out one small step you can take today. Maybe that's just writing down all your debts. Maybe it's creating a simple budget. And please, talk to someone. It could be a trusted friend, a family member, or a partner. Just saying the words, "I'm struggling with debt" out loud can lift a huge weight off your shoulders. You'll often find that people are more understanding and supportive than you imagine. And don't be afraid to seek professional help. A non-profit credit counselor can help you create a manageable plan to tackle your debt. And a therapist or counselor can help you develop coping strategies for the stress and anxiety. Asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. The key is to start regaining a sense of control. Even the smallest steps can significantly reduce your stress. When you create a budget or make one extra payment, no matter how small, you're sending a powerful message to your brain. I am in charge of this situation. Remember, progress matters more than perfection. There will be good days and bad days, but as long as you're moving forward, you're winning. And most importantly, remember this: your debt does not define your worth as a person. It's a circumstance, not a character flaw. Ultimately, what I want you to take away from this is that your mental health and your financial health are deeply connected. You can't fix one without addressing the other. If you're struggling with debt, you are not alone in this. Millions of people understand what you're going through. The path to financial and mental wellness is not easy, but it is absolutely possible. With the right support, the right strategy, and a little bit of self-compassion, things can and will get better. Debt isn't just a numbers game on a spreadsheet. It's a heavy weight that can press down on your mind every single day. Have you ever found yourself lying awake at night, your thoughts racing about bills, interest rates, and what the future holds? If so, you're not alone. Millions of people silently struggle with the mental and emotional toll of debt. It's more than just a financial problem. It's a mental health problem that affects how you sleep, how you think, and how you feel. Let's talk about the real human side of debt and how it impacts our well-being. The emotional weight of debt is immense. It's that constant, nagging worry in the back of your mind. Every time the phone rings, you might flinch thinking it's a collector. Every letter in the mail could be another bill, another reminder of what you owe. This constant state of alert creates a deep sense of fear about the future. You start questioning everything. Will I ever be able to afford a home? Can I retire? Will I be able to provide for my family? This feeling of being trapped, with no clear way out, is incredibly overwhelming. It's like being caught in a current, struggling to keep your head above water, and it can leave you feeling completely exhausted. This constant worry naturally leads to stress and anxiety. We're not talking about the kind of stress that motivates you to meet a deadline. We're talking about chronic stress, the kind that sticks around day after day. When you see your balance is growing instead of shrinking, that anxiety can spike. You might find yourself checking your bank account obsessively, or on the flip side, avoiding it completely because you can't bear to see the numbers. This financial uncertainty creates a state of mental fatigue. Your brain is always on, trying to solve an impossible puzzle, and that constant mental effort drains your energy, making it hard to focus on anything else in your life. When this stress and anxiety persist, they can spiral into something even more serious: depression. The feeling of hopelessness is a classic sign. You might start to believe that your situation will never get better, that you'll be stuck in debt forever. This can lead to a profound loss of motivation and energy, Simple tasks like getting out of bed or going to work can feel like climbing a mountain. You might lose interest in hobbies and activities you once enjoyed. It's a dark and isolating place to be, where the weight of the debt feels so crushing that it's hard to see any light at the end of the tunnel. This isn't a sign of weakness. It's a natural human response to an incredibly difficult and prolonged struggle. Adding to this emotional burden is the element of shame and social pressure. Money is still a taboo topic for many of us. We're often too embarrassed to talk about our financial struggles, even with the people closest to us. We see friends and family on social media posting about their vacations, new cars, or home renovations, and the comparison game begins. You start asking yourself, what am I doing wrong? Why can't I keep up? This can lead you to hide your financial reality. You might turn down invitations to go out because you can't afford it, but make up another excuse. You might put on a brave face, pretending everything is fine, while internally you're crumbling under the pressure. This isolation only makes the problem worse. Unsurprisingly, debt can put a huge strain on your relationships. For couples, money is one of the most common sources of conflict. Arguments about spending, saving, and debt payments can create constant tension and resentment. One partner might feel burdened, while the other feels judged or controlled. This can erode trust and emotional connection over time. Beyond romantic relationships, debt can affect your social life. As we mentioned, you might start avoiding social activities that cost money, which can lead to feelings of isolation and loneliness. You pull away from your support system at the very moment you need it most, creating a painful distance between you and the people who care about you. The impact of this stress doesn't stop at your mind. It affects your physical health too. Have you noticed trouble sleeping since your debt started piling up? Insomnia and poor sleep quality are incredibly common. Your mind is too busy worrying to shut down. This chronic stress can also manifest as physical tension, leading to frequent headaches, muscle aches, or stomach problems. Over time, this constant state of high alert can lead to burnout. You feel physically, mentally, and emotionally exhausted, like you've got nothing left to give. Your body is essentially running on empty, trying to cope with a threat that never goes away. This creates a truly vicious cycle. The stress from your debt can impair your judgment and lead to poor financial decisions. For example, you might feel so overwhelmed that you resort to retail therapy for a temporary mood boost, only to add more to your credit card balance. Or you might be too mentally fatigued to sit down and create a budget, so you continue with the same spending habits that got you into debt in the first place. These poor decisions, driven by stress, increase your debt. The increased debt then causes more stress, and the cycle repeats, digging you into a deeper and deeper hole. It feels impossible to break free because the cause and the effect are feeding each other. So, how can you tell if debt is seriously affecting your mental health? There are some clear signs to watch out for. Are you feeling a constant, low-level hum of anxiety about money that never seems to go away? Do you find yourself avoiding opening bills or checking your bank statements because it's just too painful? Do you feel hopeless, emotionally drained, or like you're carrying a heavy secret? Maybe you're irritable, snapping at loved ones over small things. Or perhaps you've noticed changes in your sleep patterns or appetite. These are not just signs of being bad with money. They are red flags that your financial stress is taking a significant toll on your mental well-being. The good news is, you can break the cycle. There are healthy ways to cope with debt stress. The first and most crucial step is to acknowledge the problem without self-blame. Shame will only keep you stuck. Recognize that you're in a tough situation, and it's okay to feel the way you do. Next, create a clear, realistic plan. This is about taking back control. You don't have to solve everything overnight. Start by simply writing down everything you owe. Just seeing it all in one place can be empowering. Then, create a budget and identify small changes you can make. The most powerful step you can take is to talk to someone you trust. Sharing your burden can lift a massive weight off your shoulders. And finally, don't be afraid to seek professional help, whether it's from a non-profit credit counselor or a mental health therapist. They are trained to help you navigate this. Regaining control is all about taking small, manageable steps. Maybe your first step is simply cutting up one credit card. Maybe it's setting up an automatic transfer of just $10 into a savings account each week. These small actions might not seem like much, but they send a powerful message to your brain. I am taking action, I am in control. Remember, progress matters far more than perfection. You will have good days and bad days, but as long as you're moving in the right direction, you're winning. And most importantly, please remember this. Your debt does not define your worth as a person. It is a situation you are in, not who you are. In the end, it's vital to understand that our financial health and our mental health are deeply and intricately connected. You cannot fix one without addressing the other. If you are struggling with debt and the anxiety or depression that comes with it, please know that you are not alone in this fight. It's a silent battle for so many, but it doesn't have to be. With the right support system and a clear strategy, things can and will get better. You can break the cycle, regain control, and start building a future where you are in charge of your money, not the other way around. Thanks for watching, and remember to be kind to yourself on this journey.